Hey YouTube, this is Fierce, coming at you with another video today. Before we get started, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button down below and hit the bell for notification for more updates, daily updates. Today we're going to be taking another look at one of the videos that just dropped today, about 11 hours ago. The Scary Crimes of Minecraft Illagers. And I'm actually looking forward to watching this. I've watched a few of his other ones on Minecraft. If you haven't watched them, go check them out. They're actually pretty good. Excellent in my opinion. But yeah, no, I've played Minecraft. I'm going to say about 2.5 years worth. Yeah, I wasted a lot of time of my life on it. But today we're just gonna do a real quick intro, which is this. I'm going to be working on actually getting an actual intro, and I know I said in the last video that I don't know how to do thumbnails, so I just posted a random picture from my picture file on there. And I know it's dumb posting what I posted, but it had to do with the Disney character, so I just posted a Disney picture that I liked. That's why I did that. And I know the echoing of the video must have been irritating, so I apologize for that. I will be working on fixing that. I'm hoping it doesn't do it in this video. Yeah, there's just a bunch of stuff I need to work on. And I realized all the mistakes after I posted the video. And I realized I told you guys to post stuff in the comments down below, and I realized that my comment section wasn't open because it was locked. And that's because I posted it wasn't safe for, or it's safe for children. So I figured, oh, that would keep the comment section open. I guess I was wrong. I'm going to be working on fixing that so I can get comments in my videos, so I can read your guys' comments in order to make my videos better. And I will be getting proper equipment. I know there are some people that started YouTube on their cell phones or just some random device, like a tablet or something. But I am going to be working on getting better stuff, like an actual microphone, an actual green screen. I will be working on editing, and I know that I don't sound confident in this one a lot, but or in most of my videos, but I'm going to be working on my confidence in them the more I do my videos. And I know I'm just blabbering on and you guys actually want to see the reaction, so without further ado, here we go. I'm actually interested in seeing what goes on in here, because I'm a big fan of Minecraft, so.
What are the Illagers doing in that dank, secluded mansion of theirs, with its redstone jails, elaborate altars, and hidden rooms housing strange obsidian structures?
This is one of the
really
nicest,
like
or the best things
something.
to come
That
from
is a
one of the
quote from
newest
Marsh
updates.
Davies, former creative communications manager for Mojang, in his introduction to the Evoker mob back when it was introduced in 2017. It's a line that is outright challenging us. It's telling us there's something hidden within the walls of the Illagers' Woodland Mansion compound. There's a mystery to be solved out there in those dark forests. One that, according to my research, has gone unanswered the entire time. But Now,
I guess,
3 years
okay.
later, I
That
think
was
I've done
weird.
it. I
It
think I
stopped
know
for a
what the
second.
Illagers are doing out there. And more importantly, I think I know what they're planning. Let's just say, after today's video, you will never look at Minecraft the same way again.
You know what? After some of your videos, I never do.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, the most bingeable show on YouTube for all those times when you find yourself inexplicably stuck inside with nothing else to do. Speaking of bingeable content, over the last year, we've been mining for nuggets of lore to craft together a massive overarching theory.
Yeah, for staying inside and having nothing to do, that kind of sounds like what people are going through now with the coronavirus. And if you're going through something about the coronavirus, whether you are or not, condolences. Um, I hope the best for you guys to get well. Yeah, it's nothing to scoff at, and I feel bad for anyone who has it. Anyways, off topic. Back to the video.
On the story of Minecraft. I'll link to all those theories right there in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. I recommend starting with our analysis of the Enderman, as well as this one covering the origins of the drowned civilization. Here's the thing though, up until this point, you as the viewer, and quite honestly me too, have been uncertain what, if anything, has actually been planned by the Mojang team working on Minecraft. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think we have done some incredible work piecing together a lore for this game, from the Enderman being the lost builders, to the drowned being a civilization running away from a massive flood. The proof has been there in the gameplay, and yet the question has remained, how much of this lore was intended for—
You know what? In one of his videos, he explicitly said that, you know what, I'll just let you guys figure it out, but yeah, in the villagers being in the drowned video that he mentioned, I'd say watch that, and then watch the one about, if you want to get a hint on what I'm talking about, I'm going to leave it in those two videos. If I'll actually leave the link to them in the description if you want to go check them out. The one about the Endermen being villagers or the people of the past, something along them lines. I'll just leave the two videos in the description below. You'll get a hint of what he's talking about.
Versus how much of it was just me theory crafting by putting together random details to make a coherent story. Today, though, is different. I started this episode with that quote from Marsh Davies for a reason. It shows that the developers intended some hidden lore to exist around the Woodland Mansions. The Illagers do indeed have something up those oversized sleeves of theirs. This time, it's not just us overanalyzing things like we normally do, it's us piecing together clues to solve a secret that has remained hidden in this game for years. And maybe it's been for a good reason. Because if I'm right, the secret that the Illagers are hiding takes this family-friendly game and makes it a much, much darker world. We're talking T for teen at least. I think the Illagers are kidnapping villagers and turning them into animals through some bizarre magic, and that's not all. I think they're going one step further. They're taking those experiments to try and recreate Steve. Now, if you've never been to a woodland mansion before, I don't exactly blame you. The chance of one generating is extremely low, as they only generate in the rare dark forest biome. And even then, only if it fulfills a certain list of criteria, and you're lucky to boot. That's why even with the maps that you could buy from the cartographer villagers, you still might find yourself trekking for hours to find the nearest mansion. So it's pretty safe to say that these are some of the rarest structures in the game. Entering the mansion, things seem pretty normal at first. The entrance hall is pretty much always the same. It has a nice red carpet, some stairs, and as you go through, you're likely to see lots of normal-looking rooms.
Yeah, I've actually cleared out some and just made them my own
little
personal
farms
home.
Of mushrooms and trees, but then you get to some of the stranger structures.
Fast way
Jail
of
cells,
getting
a room with a large altar in the middle, a room with a large fake map in the middle, a room with a large fake end portal in the middle, rooms dedicated to large woolen statues of cats and chickens in the middle, always in the middle. It
you know what? I've never seen those.
Let me be clear, when I say fake end portals and fake maps, I mean it. These aren't made from your typical assortment of end portal frames and lava blocks or paper and compasses. These are made with wool The fake end portal rooms are filled with orange wool in the middle and a ring of green wool above it, giving the appearance of a stronghold end portal. The map is made out of carpet.
Cool.
So are the numerous beds found throughout the mansion. More wool, more carpet. Again, it is weird. I say it on a lot of these episodes, but I think in this one it's hard to deny. Developers don't just put fake replicas of an end portal into the villain's hideout for the funsies. There is a reason these structures are here. But to understand why, we first need to understand who the Illagers are. For those of you who don't know, Illager is the classification for a group of hostile mobs in Minecraft united by the fact that they all share similar features to normal villagers. The Illagers consist of magic-using evokers, axe-wielding vindicators, and crossbow-slinging pillagers. There's also illusioners, who don't spawn naturally in the game, and the ravagers, which are just the big ol' ugly beasts that the Illagers ride during the raids. Oh, look at that face. Face only a mother, or I suppose another villager could love? Now, it's important to note that the Illager appearance isn't arbitrary. Sure, they look exactly like villagers in need of a suntan, but that is a very intentional decision. It isn't like Mojang just ran out of ideas for how creatures in this universe could look. No, the one bit of lore that we know about these guys is that they're exiles. They were booted out of the villagers' villages. They're outcasts. According to the Minecraft mob bestiary, quote, "The evokers are outcasts from the friendly villages that we know and love, twisted by their practice of evil," end quote. And again, with the Vindicator description, here we go. Like the evokers, the Vindicators were expelled from villages for its unspeakable activities, and it too wanders the halls of the eerie woodland mansions. We do not know what they're trying to achieve out there in the woods, but we must be on our guard, end quote. So again, we're teased with little bits of lore here. These are villagers who are committing unspeakable acts and were booted out of the towns for it, only to take residence in the dark woods, but we have no idea what all that is referencing. So we come back to the initial question. What were they doing? In the woodland mansions, we have prisons and altars built by the Illagers, but what was it all for? Well, what if I told you that the first, and yes, there are several, but the first atrocity is that the Illagers are kidnapping normal, peaceful villagers and turning them into animals. Don't believe me? Take a closer look at the Ravagers I mentioned earlier. The beasts that the Illagers ride into battle. Look familiar? They should. Most obviously, there's that signature nose that completely matches a normal villager. Okay, fine. That would just be an aesthetic choice. But then, what about the eyebrow? Ravagers have a unibrow, just like every other villager that exists in Minecraft. What makes that similarity stand out all the more is that both the Vindicator and the Evoker, who we know are former villagers themselves that were exiled, have themselves two separate angry eyebrows, clearly differentiating them from every other villager in the game. And yet the Ravager shares the unibrow that the villagers still possess. And what about those green eyes? Again, every villager has green eyes, just like the eyes of the Ravagers. So, the features of the Ravager's face are an exact copy of the features on a villager's face, but to say that they are a villager seems to be an extreme jump, right? It does, until you listen to this. That's one of the Ravager's roars. It's this big, fearsome beast that has a little honk, honk, honk at the end of its roar. A honk that sounds kinda like the sounds that a villager makes when it's speaking. In fact, a lot of the Ravager sound effects seem to have an undertone of honking to it. Again, listen to those grunts and roars. The honking is very clearly worked into the sounds that the beast is making. Suggesting that, along with the visuals, this was once an actual villager. But to me, the biggest piece of evidence doesn't come from the game itself, but rather from a tweet sent by Jeb, Chief Creative Officer for Minecraft. One of the odd little details about Ravagers was that when they were first introduced, they were programmed to be scared of rabbits. It was a cute little Easter egg to have a giant, hulking, fearsome beast suddenly run away from such a cute little animal. But when it was first discovered, Jeb, who, again, it bears repeating, is one of the main guys controlling everything Minecraft, Jeb tweeted back this. I asked Josh to remove this feature again, although funny, being scared of rabbits doesn't fit with the beast's lore, end quote. doesn't fit with the lore? Ravager lore is non-existent. Literally, in the Meet the Ravager blog post, there is nothing about how these characters fit into the story. The various bestiaries and wikis, nothing about the lore of these mobs. Sure, there are stories about how they were originally conceptualized, what they're based off of, but nothing about the lore as they fit into the story of Minecraft. And yet, apparently, the lore exists enough for the rabbits scaring it off to somehow
Knights are
throw
afraid of
off that entire
elephants, so
plot
why
line.
not?
And I think I know why. I think it's because they're made of villagers. And villagers aren't scared of rabbits, so the beast that they are turned into by the illagers shouldn't scare them either. In short, I think that the prison cells and those sacrificial looking altar things in the woodland mansions are used for when evokers and vindicators capture villagers to use in their, how did the mob bestiary put it, unspeakable activities. I mean, between the magic and the axe, those two mobs should have pretty much everything they need to convert a villager into a giant hulking beast. Well, everything but the power over life and death. That would probably be helpful if you're trying to create some sort of weird animal villager hybrid monstrosity. Oh wait, the illagers actually have that ability too. You see, evokers hold power over life and death considering that they're the only source of totems of undying in the game. These totems are special items that allow the wielder to escape from death.
I like
and
those
that, my
dang
friends,
things.
is the true
Don't
plan of the
ruin them for me.
illagers. Sure, they might be making beasts out of villagers, but I believe that's only one component of their larger overarching plan. I think that the unspeakable activities that got them kicked out of the villages in the first place are actually them running experiments trying to harness the powers of life and death. They are literally playing God. I mean, they have totems of undying. They are the only ones to have totems of the undying, and we see that these things work. I mean, they certainly managed to keep us alive. Plus, we know that magic is a real thing in Minecraft. Obviously, in the game, we're able to enchant weapons and armor using lapis lazuli. So Minecraft is making the case that lapis lazuli has some sort of mystical power. Now, this isn't a totally
It's
novel idea.
lazuli,
Humans
but
dating
okay.
back all the way to ancient Sumeria have also believed that lapis had some sort of mystical quality. The Sumerians believed that lapis held the souls of gods. And all of that seems pretty darn relevant considering where lapis lazuli is hidden in the woodland mansions. Well, it's not obvious.
You know, if it was really, if they were to hold the, it was believed that they held the souls of gods. How do you have a soul if you're a god? I mean, that kind of defeats the whole purpose, if you ask me. Because if a god had a soul, that would mean that you could kill it. And if you look up the sense of the word of God, it clearly states an almighty being. You can't kill it as a human or any other type. And even if you could try to kill it as a human, we don't have the technology to. Because it would surpass us before we even got to the technology to kill it. Kind of dumb in my opinion, but I mean, okay.
Is a block of lapis hidden in the center of the giant wool illager heads that decorate the entire building, implying there to be this close connection between illagers and this magical stone. I mean, in the statues, it's literally right where their brain should be. Now, I cannot stress enough how bad of an idea it would be to actually inject lapis lazuli into your head. There's nearly a 100% chance of medical complication and a 0% chance of you getting magical powers, but in the Minecraft universe, it seems like the odds are a bit more in your favor considering the evoker's magical powers. Could all of these statues be implying that evokers have lapis literally implanted into their skulls, thereby giving them their magical abilities? Probably not. If that were the case, you'd expect them to have some chance of dropping a shard of lapis or something. But the lapis stone being in the middle of the statue's head does imply that maybe experiments with lapis and magic were another thing that got these villagers kicked out and turned into the exiled illagers. Which brings us back to their experiments on life and death. Because here's the thing, I don't think it stops with just the Ravagers. I believe that there's something far more sinister and threatening going on in the Woodland Mansions that ties together all of these clues while also explaining what happened to get the Illagers thrown out of society. In some rooms in Woodland Mansions, there are piles and piles of blue and cyan wool. Okay, it sounds pretty mundane. But consider the specific coloring of this wool, blue and cyan. They're the same colors as default Steve's clothing. His cyan shirt, his blue pants. I mean, there is really no other reason to have stacks of blue and cyan wools together in a room. It is such a specific item in such a specific set of 2 colors. I mean, sure, elsewhere in the Woodland Mansion, the Illagers use blue wool sometimes as carpet to make fake beds or maps. But they also use yellow and red wool for those same purposes, and we see none of that in any of the rooms in the Woodland Mansion, and yet we see rooms dedicated to just blue and cyan wool. They are specifically Steve-colored wool
then what
piles.
about this wool right here?
Steve and zombie-colored wool pile.
Alright, well, if he's pointing out this one and this one, what about this one?
Remember, this is a cult with at least some control over life and death. And in the Minecraft world, we see snowmen built with 2 snow blocks and a pumpkin. We see iron golems made by creating a T out of iron and then plopping a pumpkin head on top of that. Now we have ourselves a cult of Illagers who create giant statues in their homes and sometimes even embed lapis lazuli into them. So it's not so much of a stretch to think that they could maybe stack some blue and cyan wool together, plop a pumpkin on top, and hope to create a new Steve. But you see, that's where things probably went terribly wrong. An evoker using a totem of the undying must have tried to make this lump of wool come to life, only to create something twisted and something hungry. The first zombie. As the first zombies came out and started biting villagers, it's probably no surprise that the weird cultists who created it got booted from society and ended up settling huge distances away in dark and mysterious woodland mansions where they could continue their experiments in private. And now, those same cultists live in harmony with their creations. The Illagers now share their mansions with creepers and skeletons and, of course, their own zombified creations, be they built from wool and skeletons, be they built from wool and dead bodies. So now we know why the Illagers exist, what makes them fundamentally different from their villager cousins, and why the 2 populations separated to begin with. Their big evil plot that's been alluded to by the development team since their inclusion in the game is to create their own life, create their own version of Steve using a combination of wool and magic. But in the process, they created zombies. They're like the Elric brothers of Minecraft. Who knew that it would take more than a few bits of wool to make a human? And now everyone in the Minecraft world has to pay a price. And that, my friends, is the secret of the Woodland Mansion. But hey!
To go back for a second, I mean, he did make a good point, and then I thought of something. Right about here.
Created to begin with. Their big evil plot that's been alluded to by the development team since their inclusion in the game is to create their own life, create their own version of Steve using a combination of wool and magic. But in the...
What if they did? What if that's where Herobrine came from? Even though they came at long updates after, or many updates really after Herobrine and Steve, I mean, and I know Herobrine ain't in the game. A lot of people still think he is, but he's not. What if the Herobrine that we knew or know of, in a sense, is their first creation of life? And what if they did create the zombies? I don't know. It's just left to be unseen. Yeah. No, but that was actually pretty good. This video here, don't fall asleep. I will be doing a reaction on that tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. If there's any other YouTube channels or movies or TV shows, whatever, that you'd like me to react to, let me know in the comment section down below. Like I said, I will be doing one of these every single day. Yeah, that's about it. So without further ado, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and leave a comment in the comment section down below, and hit that bell notification for more daily uploads. This is Ferris, and I am signing out.